Hi, I'm Georgie and this is my mum Sarah. We're two multi-creatives based in rural Victoria, Australia. We have an atelier-ceramics studio, Hope & Co, in a mid-century renovated garage. We make, paint, write and capture, and now we're taking you on our creative trails. Good morning, it is now Thursday in the studio. I have come down a little bit earlier than mum because she's packing to get ready to go to Melbourne. So you will see her briefly in here this morning when she comes in to pack up the special painting, heading off to its new home. Really excited that it is being moved on, but it's also kind of sad because we get used to working around these beautiful artworks. But you know, good because it makes room for new stuff, so get painting, mum. But anyway, I will be unloading the kiln this morning. It's a bisque load, fingers crossed, praying to the kiln gods that all fine. Let's hop to it. She's ready to open up. So if the kiln was a bit cooler, I would start unloading the bisque in here, but it's currently sitting at 86 degrees Celsius. So bit too hot to touch. And just to be safe, I don't want to create a sort of sense of climate shock for the pieces here because that could cause cracks and problems. So I'm just going to leave it here until it cools down a bit more and then I'll move them out a bit later. The perks of living in Australia. Finding a way to deal with this on the roof. For the pieces that we can't stamp due to like the shape of the base of it, we put on these little Hope & Co Australia stickers so everyone knows where they've come from. Also to make sure that we have enough cardstock. At the moment we're missing one of our best selling cards, a detail from this painting right here, Port Fairy Day. So I am going to bring out the stash of cards and make one up. All of our Hope & Co greeting cards have all been printed through a local business in our hometown. Ivory Print do an amazing job and create a fine quality product with a beautiful finish. We believe it's so important for fellow businesses in rural areas to support and give each other business where they can. Opening the kiln. So we've got some bunnies, some of our autumn range. It's like opening up a treasure trove, like a tomb. Pretty. Yay.
Decided to go to Melbourne. I'm delivering a painting. A sale I made a couple of weeks ago of my London Magnolias 2. I just have to go back to London so I can do series 4, 5 and 6 one day. But for the moment I'm delivering the painting, picking up this huge clay supply and coming back after the weekend.
Good morning from the Hope & Co shop. It's a beautiful autumn crisp morning here. I have come in early to open everything up. I've got the flag out, the sign out the front. I came in yesterday with my partner Horvath and I did the cleaning for everything's inside and he mowed the lawns outside. So we're looking spick and span, and I think one of the great things about doing an open studio, aside from bringing people into our space and being able to show them what we do, keeps us on our toes and we tidy up the studio here. So I think most creatives can probably relate, but you do get into a bit of a creative mess, so it's great to have something like this that makes it look all beautiful. So looking forward to welcoming people in today, and yeah.
Hi.
So the first half of this week ended up being intensely busy. We received another big wholesale order over the weekend, so we came in first thing Monday and smashed out as much as we could of that while keeping up with our other orders. On Tuesday, I popped down super early to open the building for our handyman who was getting started on our concertina doors going between the main studio and garage. Stay tuned, we'll show you a bit of that later on. Over Wednesday, Thursday, we had a couple of much needed home office days, Mum doing tax and invoices, and I had to hand in a university assignment. I popped in briefly on Thursday night to take some pieces out of the slip cast moulds to save Mum a trip in. So we really only came back in at the same time on Friday, so that's why not much was filmed during this week.
So this week in the studio, we've had a bit of a moving around. Anyone who knows me, my husband just laments my constant moving around and shuffling of furniture. But in the studio, we've had to make it a bit more productive in terms of a flow of work. So we're really working on creating a glazing station, a slip casting station, a slab rolling station, and so forth. And we've obviously got our bisque room next door where everything dries and where we place our bisque, our first fired ceramics. Okay, so we found these doors in a shed belonging to extended family of ours, not so far away, and we've probably done the sacrilegious thing of cutting them in half, but we're doing a bifold between the main garage section of the studio and what will be the workshop area that's got everything in it at the moment. It's a bit of a mess, so I don't really want you to see it. But it's going to be fantastic once we've got this extra area for the kilns, the slip casting and the slab rolling. Okay, so here we are in Le Garage. It's pretty filthy at the moment. When we took over the building, there was like 50 years of grease on the floor. So the floor in here still hasn't been cleaned and pressure washed. Now it will take an enormous amount of, probably a full day's work just to get the floor clean before we can paint the concrete. I can't wait. The wall's going to be spray painted, the roof, everything is going to be spray painted white. I'm a bit of a white freak. Someone hasn't noticed that already, but we're really excited about it. So once this is all done, we will feel like we have a complete little ceramics factory. When I was growing up, who fixed things at home? Not my brothers, me. So maybe I was always meant to have a garage, even if I turned it into something pretty. So I'll let you into a little secret. Ever since I was a little girl, I kind of wanted a little factory all to myself, and guess what? I've got a roller door. Okay, everyone, this room is in the process of being finished as well. Everything's in half stages. This room is being designed to be our kitchen space, a little bit of an office space, plus dispatch. We've lightened it up by putting laser light up where there were openings. We've used recycled doors. I love using recycled stuff, and we got these doors like we did the other ones from a shed nearby, in a nearby town. This door was from a farm, and it's going to be in the front of the building and painted hot pink like our front door. But this is where we're going to dispatch, and we're going to have shelves right along here and here for all our boxes. And you can see all the different size boxes we've got. So packing boxes are a really important part of ceramic freight and postage. It's one of the most challenging and heaviest things that we can send, so it's not cheap, and we don't want it to end up broken at the other end. We learnt very early on that double boxing was the only way to go. Eco noodles and plenty of recycled materials go into our packaging as well, and I'll show you, we'll go through and I'll show you our new eco wrapping. In our effort to become more environmentally sustainable, we're moving into paper packaging called Ranpak. Now, this is a fantastic product that you can get from a number of packaging distributors. In Australia, I've been buying it from Signet, and what it does is it provides you with a roller system that's completely recyclable, and you buy it like this, and you have a layer of tissue, but then you have an expandable paper packaging that expands as you pull it out, as you roll it out. So if you want to see this in action, keep an eye out for our shipping and packaging video vlog, which will be coming up very soon, because we know from our own experience that packaging was a challenging and extremely difficult thing to negotiate when you've got a ceramics business. So keep an eye out for it. Little update, Colin, the kiln from Canada, is actually on a ship in a container in Vancouver. Hasn't left quite yet, but we might have a kiln in a few weeks, so crossing fingers. Depends how fast she sails. So it came to my attention that we missed a step last week, so what I want to do is actually in this video show you the step where we have the bisque bowl, ta-da, and how we glaze it to put it in its final firing. So coming up soon, we're going to show you that, but we have a hell of a week ahead of us. I have a huge collection of underglazes, and the underglazes, some of them I inherited when I bought my second-hand kiln, but a lot of them I've bought. I have probably every colour under the rainbow, and the chips that we have here are all experimental chips. A lot of ceramicists love using these as a guide, because ceramic underglazes look a lot paler and chalkier before they're fired. So this is an example of when the colour is on the tile. This is a colour called holly green. It's an old underglaze that I inherited, and I was testing it out. It's quite matte and chalky. Now that's actually been fired, and it's still matte and chalky. The minute you add clear glaze, I'm wondering whether you can see that properly, but it's shiny, it's darker, and that gives us an indication for when we paint pots of what that colour is going to look like at a specific temperature. Now this one has been fired to about 1032 degrees, or cone 05, and sometimes underglazes can fade, so you've got to be very careful when you pick an underglaze to check its firing range. So one of my very favourite colours that I use is a colour called Dark Delft, and it's by Duncan, very well-known American ceramic firm. You can get them in Australia, and I order them from Western Australia from a company called Ceramicraft. I just want to show you, this is a really good option. So whenever I have a little bit of extra clay, I make these extra chips. Now I do have Dark Delft chips, but I just wanted to show you. This is the colour of Dark Delft when it's straight out of the bottle. this is what I do to actually create a colour chip. I let it dry, I do another coat. Just trying to speed it up. Just trying to speed it up. It doesn't take long to dry. You can see it's starting to dry already on the edge, but I'm just going to go over it for the sake of the demonstration. So that's your colour. Okay, now if you want to see the real difference between colour chips as they are before they're fired, so then I would paint, once that was dry, I would put information on the back of the chip stating what the colour is and what company it is, so I know what I'm looking at. And then this, I would then paint it with a clear glaze, and then it's fired, and that is actually the colour. This is a really good indication of the difference in underglazes before and after. So there's always a challenge to understand what a colour is going to look like on a pot or a plate. And once you've got an idea of that, you know, you're cooking with gas. So it's late Friday, and Georgie and I are both looking forward to probably a little beverage tonight. We've realised that we've got enough for another bisque load, so we're putting the kiln on tonight. I'm just doing a little bit of sanding, and I just want to show you, Georgie's been working hard at some slip casting. So she has been, we'll take these off tonight before we leave, but she's been finishing off the edges of the top of the slip casting, stamping them, and this 40cm platter is ready to come off this evening, off the actual mould, and it will dry slowly in the bisque room. Likewise, this gorgeous salad bowl. So this bowl and the platter are both destined for local stockists.
So our knock-off time looks a bit different to regular 9-to-5 workers.
Yeah, small businesses work late. Those who have a small business will understand that. We are looking forward to Friday night at home and...
Strong gin and tonic.
Strong gin and tonic.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday morning. I'm about to head into town from the farm. I'm going to grab the papers, grab a coffee, head to the studio and show you some glazing. So I'll see you soon. So we're back. I've painted the bowl in an engobe, which is very similar to the glaze colour, so perhaps that's probably a little bit confusing, but just to be clear, the engobe actually turns white in the firing, and then I've painted a mix of my own green glaze over the bowl, over the engobe, and then I will do a final coat in a clear gloss because the glaze I have is not quite glossy enough for what I want. The glaze is pink, so that's confusing again. So I can't wait to show you again what the end result was of the bowl that we showed you last week. I'll put it back in again so you can see how we go from this to the finished result.
If you enjoyed this episode, let us know down in the comments below, hit that like button, subscribe and turn on your notifications so when we upload a new video, you are first in the know. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you soon. Bye.